What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode. So today we're here with my buddy Will because he's the one that actually inspired me to start going bioactive with all my enclosures. So figured why not come down here, check out some of the amazing snakes that he's working with, and check out some of his artwork that he's got built into some of these enclosures. So let's take a look. So guys, first off, we're going to start with probably one of the most impressive tanks that I think Will has. I mean, check this out. This is a huge bioactive paludarium. I mean, he's even gone so far that he's got fish in here. So it's essentially a fish tank, snake tank. I mean, it's best of both worlds. I know a lot of people that watch our channels, they keep snakes, but they also keep like other animals like fish. There's a lot of fish keepers and turtle keepers, but this gives you a really good idea to kind of think outside the box instead of just like a vision cage or like a regular just basic snake cage. This is another way to make kind of like a showroom piece in your room. Now, what do you have going on here, man? I mean, obviously you know way more about this than I do because you built it, but let people know kind of what is this?
So I couldn't really tell you the gallon size of this entire cage, but to put it in perspective for you guys at home, if you look in this back corner here, that piece of land that I have, that's actually just a 10-gallon normal fish tank that I wrapped in the same background I have on the wall there. So it's a big tank. It's 4 foot by 4 foot by 20 inches deep. But this stuff on the back is universal rock. I have my normal background there, and I got some awesome temple vipers in here, which are a very high humidity snake. So that's why I decided to go with the big paludarium for them.
Yeah, I mean, you even went far. You built in a waterfall into your enclosure to come down, and like it's all plumbed.
The fogger comes out of there too.
It just brings a whole new element to keeping reptiles, to where it's not just about keeping the animals itself, but also keeping a little bit of their ecosystem in your living room, to where you can literally sit back on a couch or bring a chair in here and just watch your enclosure.
I would be completely fine with this being in my actual house.
Yeah.
It's very peaceful. And the water sound running all the time, it's nice.
Yeah, I actually just built one for the random medallions I got because, like I said, he inspired me to do everything. I literally sit in there now every day for probably about an hour just watching me. They're in quarantine, but I just sit there and like, I'm just gonna watch these guys. It's so sick.
Every time we build another one, you just sit there and stare at it for like a week, like, man, that came out good. All right, next one.
Yeah. So let's go into some actual snakes we'll pull out.
Yeah.
So he's got this wall over here of all bioactive enclosures that, I mean, they're, like I said, living enclosures. So you've got isopods in some, you've got millipedes and others that are all the filtration system of, essentially, for the reptiles. They eat all the poop and the debris. He's got some white-lipped vipers down here that are gravid, I believe.
Yeah, the female is waiting for her to pop out babies. She just shed, so I'm hoping here in the next couple days she's gonna pop out some babies for me.
But as you can see, each enclosure that Will has here is different. So it's not like you built one cookie cutter enclosure for all of them. Everything's a little bit different. They have different plants, they have different landscapings, and obviously different snakes in there.
Yeah, this is actually the first one I ever did, and it's finally, everything failed in it except for the orchid growing on the wall. But so I'm gonna actually end up redoing this entire cage. But that's the only one, it's my first one I ever did that failed, so.
But besides that, they're all holding strong.
Yeah, and I think the reason why it failed is because the snake that's in there is constantly moving the mist heads, so that's why the glass is all wet. Because every time I move him, the next night he moves them again. So.
And that's one of the things I like about Bioactive too, guys. So he just mentioned the mist heads. You've got a whole system here, a misting system. So essentially everything here, all the cages are set up on timers.
Yes.
So it's low maintenance and they're beautiful. So it takes a little bit more time to go into actually building the cage. But once it's done, I mean, you've got the isopods in there to help you with cleanup. You've got the misters that are on a timer as well as the lights on a timer. You basically just sit back, pull out shed when they shed, and
don't even have to do that.
Like,
the bugs do that too.
Yeah. So literally, these are a cage where you just build it and then just step back, prune them if you need them. But the plants, at least.
Prune them if you need them, and feed the snakes. That's
it.
Because the snakes feed the bugs, and so on and so forth.
It's a pretty cool system, guys.
Yeah.
What do you say? Can we pull out one of the eyelashes?
Yeah. The green one's in the shed right now. I'll probably pull out one of the other ones. Let's see.
One of the great things too about bioactive setups is typically you build them for more like tropical species, and then also like tree vipers, so smaller species, so you can really put some time into building the enclosures. But also tree vipers are really beautiful themselves. I mean, as you can see, this is a little eyelash viper, which is bright yellow. It's a golden face. So not only is the enclosure beautiful, but typically the snakes that you put in these enclosures are also works of art themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But check that out, guys. Eyelash viper from Central and South America. They have some species down there as well. This is the golden phase. They also come in like the Halloween phase and green phase. They come in all sorts of different colors. Also saw a guy in South Carolina that has these, and he produced a black one. So they come in all sorts of array colors, kind of like squams. They're basically the Central and South American version of a squam. The great thing about having all these tree vipers is they come in a crazy array of colors. And as you can see, since they are an arboreal species, they do tend to steal the hook. So what I'm going to do is switch it over here, and then now he's going that way. But this is actually, or these are actually the same species. So it's the same species of snake. There's different localities and different color phases. So this is the blue insularis, and that is the green insularis. These guys are from Indonesia, so Southeast Asia. And the blue ones actually come off the island of Komodo as well. So they're all, another name for them is the Komodo Island pit viper. But as you can see, they come in different colors even for the same species. They also come in a yellow color, which, I mean, I don't think you could go wrong with either of the three colors. They're all absolutely beautiful. I have a preference for blue because blue is my favorite color, but I can appreciate all of them. And you've got a pair of the greens, right? And then
No, these are both females.
Oh, that sucks. No, I'm just kidding.
It sucks, but I also am decent friends with the person that breeds these a lot. So,
Okay.
and they also have a yellow that they're going to start breeding this year.
Well,
so
there you go.
Really
So,
excited about that.
and this is a female as well too, right?
That one actually never sexed.
Oh,
So,
because one of the good things about them too is you can actually breed a blue to a green or a yellow to a blue or
yes,
whatever you
you'll
want.
get both colors.
Yeah. So if this is a male, then you have a trio.
Yes.
And then you got to get the yellow one, and then you got to get
Working on that.
more blues. But these blues are absolutely amazing. I mean, like I said, blue is my favorite color, and then, but hence why I have so many blue Barons racers.
I like green.
Yeah, that's more natural color.
Yeah, green's my favorite color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the beautiful thing, guys. When you're getting into keeping venomous, or if you do keep venomous and you want to go bioactive and build more space-efficient enclosures, you can actually keep really beautiful snakes as opposed to, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love cobras, I love a lot of viper or bigger pit vipers and such, but when you get into this arboreal space and this bioactive space, the colors are absolutely amazing of what you can actually start working with. Even the ones you showed me, there's the beautiful vipers, which are a green pit viper similar to that, but then they have all the red spots all over them. So they just come in a wide array of colors. But I mean, if you don't follow Will already, go check him out, because you can see on my left-hand side, he's building a ton of new bioactive enclosures, and then all that's gonna get remodeled too, right? So if you like this kind of content, check him out. But we'll put these guys back, and then we'll show you just a quick little snippet of the isopods you have, because obviously that's a huge role when it comes to bioactive. And then I did see a plant that you had in your little nursery over there. I want to show them too. So we'll get these guys back and we'll show you those. So Will's really tall. Will's about 7 feet tall, so you can see how many isopods he has. They stack up to almost as tall as you are.
Yeah.
And there's probably some more in the corner somewhere hiding in the isopod enclosures. So what do you have that's really brightly colored that you want to show the people?
Let's see. Those are tropical whites.
Because I showed you guys, I had the Panda Kings. I have 4 species of isopods. He's got
A lot.
10 species more.
So I got the.
And the good thing about having a friend that's in a bioactive as well is when I breed the isopods, I can switch. We'll do some training. We'll swap some isopods.
These are the Spanish orange. These are pretty cool.
Let's check them out.
If I can find them.
Nothing there. The cool thing about this too is you feel like a little kid looking
Oh, there's
for
one.
bugs.
There's one.
Oh yeah.
So they're really neat.
They're like a burgundy orange.
Yeah.
Those are beautiful. So the cool thing about isopods too is typically you don't see them all the time because they do hide and they are nocturnal, but for some of the isopods, like I know my Panda Kings and stuff there, and the dairy cows, they'll just, you'll be watching the enclosure, all of a sudden you see one run across. You're like, oh, that's so cool. So it adds a little bit more color to the enclosure, which also adds function too.
So these are the milk backs.
Let's see these. Oh wow. Yeah, you got a lot there.
Yeah. See what they call milkbacks.
Got the little milky back.
Yeah.
They were
These guys
clever
are
with names.
monstrous.
Yeah,
I'm actually thinking
huge.
about putting these in that cage there.
What?
So you can basically see
Oh.
what they do to a leaf right there. You can kind of see that. I don't know if my skin's going to be a good reference, but
You right through it.
yeah.
A fun part too that I really liked is you kind of put the isopods in the container, you missed them, you don't pick up the cork bark for like a month, and then you pick it up a month later and you're like, holy cow, there's like 50 times more than what I had in here to start
I
with.
started with 5 of these.
Oh, so he has the same experience I do with that.
Yeah.
So while he's grabbing that, look at this plant, guys. I mean, don't know. I really like the purple color of the plants. I can't put it past it.
So these dudes are dope because they look like they're see-through almost.
Oh, smokes.
Smokes.
Smokes. Yeah, 'cause you got the vein back there.
Yep.
That's interesting. And those ones are the same. Is that the adult size?
Yeah.
What else do we got
These
here?
are the powder blue pies.
Pie. So that's one thing too. Is they come in morphs. Oh,
So that's
wow.
your normal one there. That one's almost like the other one, but that's what they normally look like.
So is the white one? That's the pied?
This is the pied.
Okay. Can you guys see
Let
that?
me see if I
Got
can find a bigger one here.
almost like a ball python or corn snake. Actually, I don't know if corn snakes come with pied, but ball pythons, where they're like black with the white spots. Look like a dairy cow.
Almost. Well, I guess all the big ones are.
So what's that white one then?
That white one? He was in the batch. Not really sure.
Look at that.
He kind of looks like the other ones, but pretty sure they're the same species actually.
Yeah, that's crazy. And he's hidden. Keep going.
Actually, no, they're totally different species altogether.
That's interesting. Because since isopods have such big clutch sizes and they reproduce so quickly, you can really, in one colony, get a bunch of different colors, or something random could pop up like that. It looks like a ghost white one.
Yeah.
Who knows? So a lot of people do too, is what they take is they have like one random one pop up like that white one, separate it, and then they have a whole new colony of just that morph. So you can really get into the weeds here when it comes to bioactive as far as what kind of plants you put in, what kind of isopods you put in, and what kind of snakes you put in. You can really make it your own. What do you got down there?
I don't know. I don't know where my name tag is, unless my daughter scraped it off.
Well, they're definitely an isopod.
Yes, they
I
are.
think we can start with that.
But I'm pretty sure my daughter scraped the name of these off.
Quickly turn it into a bug channel.
Yeah, right. Look at that guy.
Oh, that's cool.
So these are look at how much they ate of these leaves.
Wow.
Yeah, they look pretty. They look almost like a fossil.
So you can tell from what we're showing you guys, you can get into, like if you're keeping snakes and you keep like in a 10-gallon tank, it takes you 20 minutes to do it. You just look at the snake in the cage. You build one of these, you could be sitting there for hours, even weeks, sometimes months, trying to figure out the best design for the cage, the isopods that go into it. It just creates a whole new element of keeping, which is something I really want to highlight on the channel because, like I said, before hanging out with you, Bioactive was like, oh, I heard about it, but I didn't really want to do it. Then I saw his enclosures, I'm like, okay, I have to. I hate you, Will. I'm gonna spend so much money on Bioactive.
I literally, before I started these, I literally researched bioactive stuff for 2 years before I even actually remotely started.
Yeah.
So it took a while, but once I got it, this was pretty much my entire COVID project.
I mean, the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
This is
Do you want to
definitely
see
awesome.
one millipede?
Yeah, the show a millipede because it's not just isopods you can use for bioactive cleaners at
And
the
the
bottom.
springtails too.
Oh, and springtails, but you probably aren't going to pick those up on the camera. But people
might.
use like cockroaches, even I've seen that, crickets, mealworms for like dry enclosures, and then millipedes.
These are the cockroaches. These are
Springtails. Oh wow.
so they float. So when you pour them into an enclosure, all you do is pour some water in here, pour the excess water into a cup, and then you'll have a bunch floating on the water. And you can dump it in. So if you're ever outside when it rains and you see a rain puddle and there's a big white circle of floating bugs in the middle, they're springtails.
And what kind of millipedes are these? Are these South American, Asian, American?
No, these are South Floridian millipedes.
Oh, you just found them?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So we have 2 types down here that I know of, the bumblebees and the reds. The bumblebees, they literally just black and yellow. Where are you 2 at?
So that's one thing you could do too. As long as you live in an area that doesn't have pesticides or anything like that, you can get your own cleaner insects from outside. So we do actually have native isopods as well. So you have native isopods, millipedes, you have all that.
Here's a red one that looks like he's about to possibly shed his exoskeleton. But they curl up in a ball too.
So as you see, there's lots of options when it comes to bioactive.
Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots.
Alright guys, well hope you really enjoyed today's video. Coming down, checking out Will Nace's Bioactive Enclosures and getting a little inspiration for your own, because I know I get a bunch of inspiration whenever I come over here. But if you don't already follow him, go check him out. I mean, he's got a bunch of amazing content when it comes to snakes, bioactive enclosures. They even keep mammals here. They got like foxes and stuff, so you can check that out as well. But if you like today's video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on Instagram and Patreon at Current Predators. Check out Will, follow him, and we'll see you on the next one.